Negotiating, but I'm going to chance. Yeah, we're going to come from. Josephine, glory to the new King. Afu because the worship like a look on the altar, right? So, maybe a difficult country worship can look on the altar.
Look on their foundation.
Look on.
They are
Ah,
look on come on June program. And look on what you feel like on come on what like it was like
it's too far. We said,
um central.
there you go. We need to be.
The 90.
Only?
I hear about only. There you
Wow, yeah, am I in a good mood? Of course, I'm in a good mood. So there's International Men's Day, and I decided to go to Trinidad and it's my record barrage, and I think it's one of the best um, rendition there. So good night to you wherever you are in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. If you are in the region, internationally, it's good to know that you listen to the clean, fresh sound of WFM 99.9. You heard us live, and we are located at Windy Point, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good to know that you're with us. Don't forget, tonight's program is coming to you compliments Basil's Bar. You find them downstairs in Cobblestone, obliquely opposite the Maras Hotel, and you find him down in Musty. And we want to thank Budget for continuing to put his hard-earned money on this Tuesday program that provides the maximum listenership right here, and we are here with you. My name is Kingsley. Good to know you are here. I want to say a special good night to one of the most beautiful custom officer, Donna. Donna, hope you listen. If you listen, somebody going to tell you that I remember you this week, okay? Yeah, let me say good evening to Mrs. Mason. Oh, Mrs. Mason. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, I have two main things I want to speak about. You know, um, are you feeling frustrated with the issue of homicides that we are seeing? Remember, we don't use the East Road on this program because we have the impression that if somebody commits a crime where they kill another person, we believe that the matter must be investigated by the Royal Salvation Grades Police Force, and they will present the files to the DPP office, and he and she will determine if the person will be charged for murder or homicide or manslaughter. So we prefer to say killings on this program, and like when we refer to children, we don't say kids, we say children. Okay? Yeah, it's a big people program. Yeah. So I want to ask you a couple of questions, and then you can gather your thoughts and give us a call and let us know how you feel. The first question I want you to give some consideration to is when Raghunath stood in opposition in 2001, he made a statement, and I'm paraphrasing here, I can't quote him word for word, but he did say, if Vincent ever give him a chance to become the prime minister of this blessed country, he will be tough on crime and the causes of crime. So the last 23 years, I'm impressed with Dr. Gonsalves' stewardship on the issue of crime. Well, 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 but here what happened. He met Mr. Quao when he came in as Prime Minister. Mr. Quao was the Commissioner of Police. Did we see some level of policeism from William Harry? Yeah, I think he was there too. Then we had Keith Miller. Keith Miller had some good ideas, but for some reason never manifested himself. And he did say that community policing was important. But I think when Keith sat as commissioner of police, Keith had couldn't distance himself from being commissioner and being a politician. And you may say it's unfair statement to say president. Well, former commissioner of police rather have to say the police force normally had two politicians. The one who is suggested to be appointed as commissioner and the deputy. So that is why I use the experience from former commissioner to say it when they say that commissioners in the police force are really appointed by politicians. And definitely true. And sometimes they act like them. But I found myself paying attention to Mr. Keith Miller, and I think that Keith Miller did go down that particular road sometime. Then, you know, after Keith Miller, we had Michael Charles. He sits here and shake up on Fridays with the resort officer. Um, at times, I wonder if he's just a host or he come to bring support to the young people and what is taking place in St. Vincent and then after him, who we have? Mr. Hathaway. Mr. Hathaway is legally trained, yes, legally trained like Mr. Miller. But for some reason, the bar exam was so hard that they didn't pass. Okay? So they have legally minded people. Then currently, recently we had trained and professional lawyer Colin John. Then we have acting commissioner of police, Mr. Williams. And if you ask me who should be the next commissioner, it should be a woman. Okay? You could put your name to the place if you want to be with them. And we see quite a few commissioner of police change as Ron Gonsalves was Minister of National Security and still Minister of National Security and Prime Minister. And, you know, some people may say, you go back in the Scranton again, but of course I go back in the Scranton again. Because while I applied my trade as a taxi operator, and people come into my taxi and they say, how is the crime situation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Most of the time they say in your country. With my experience, I try to disguise my answer because I first tell them, crime is a menace all over the world. And you're not going to get me to speak negative about my country to people coming to say this. But some of them insist, and some of them say, well, we do follow the radio stations and we read the newspaper online and we see that you had some homicides and killing recently. And they will try to engage you in a particular discussion. And they will ask, what is the causes of the issue of crime? Well, if I could quote the Prime Minister, or the one high maintenance woman, and if I can maintain them. Now, the guy said the truth, and he spoke recently in Parliament, and he was giving some advice to young men. Don't forget, today is International Men Day. And he warned them, he said, stay away from drugs and guns and so. And I tell you, the advice is good. Because don't care what tell me, drugs and drug related issues are always due to criminal activities and gun related crime. And we having too much of gun related. What was the homicide rate for last day? It's just over 50 or in the mid 50s. Can't remember. I want to make sure that I'm not giving misinformation. So let's say just over 50. And today as it stands, what's the homicide rate in Silverstone? It's about just over 40. And it's really funny. And I don't know if people take the issue of killings and the homicide rate in St. Vincent seriously. Well, did some missing. Well, nobody for me now get killed, nobody for me now get sent in trouble, so we really cancel. Okay. Okay, well, that is your position. That is your position. The next question I want you to answer: do you think the commissioner of police and the commissioners of police should speak on the issue of crime more often than they do? Would it help? Of course, it will help because we would like to know what the police rank and file are doing. I mean, they can disclose everything for security reasons. But you see this issue with stop and search, I supported that. But you see, come by the radio and say, oh, public service announcement, there will be a stop and search by the Royal Citizen Credit Police Service. Nonsense. Just stop and search. And I passed through a particular area last night, rain like joke, and I see some guys on the block there drinking this white thing they call strong and some smoking tank. Yes, I wish some police cover just straight on the whole block. I need to see someone that go on. I can remember police officer like Red John, AK from Montrose. The most quiet policeman in Simpson Green was very lethal from Barry. Remember he? A tall, lengthy fella. There been no nonsense kind of police. Elvis Brown from Billy. When you see them be pass through, you got all respect to them. Now you see man smoking weed and when they see police, but they say, oh, fire about you, Babylon, and a big puff. Nah, me wanted to come back on that kind of thing. Tighten up on that nonsense and she take it to the service when they get it. Marijuana service is illegal. I hate people say, oh, you could bother the PhD anyway. Why are we encourage that? And let me tell you something. Nobody can convince me that marijuana is not a gateway drug. Ask them chronic smokers what is called a Zuki. The kids even know what's called a Zuki. You don't know? But it must, if it was something you see somebody smoking something and it have a nice fragrance, a sweet fragrance, it's when they mix cocaine and marijuana together. That's what called a Zuki. You understand? You never know, you lost something tonight. Yeah. And people want to do that any way they feel like. I see a man like that for challenge by the airport, you know, I said, big man, it's by the airport today, you know. He said, but we legal. I said, we illegal. I said, listen, you must be crazy. Then I tried to one a police attention. He said, Kings, we be attacking one of the police. I said, oh. I said, let me read the mail before they go to bus, man. So, that we tell me, he said, we be attacking one of the police. I said, big man, I saw you, eh? I said, let the man think of people to marijuana scent and do we feel like. I said, Lord of mercy. So I want to know if you think that the commissioners and acting commissioner of police, Mr. Williams, should come up more often. Are you impressed with Royal Gonsalves tenureship as Minister of National Security with the issue? Is the crime rate in Zimbabwe alarming? Is it frightening? I don't think it's alarming. I don't think it's frightening, but there are need for us to be concerned. And if we are concerned, we should be hearing from the Minister of National Security and Commissioner of Police acting, Mr. Grenville Williams. And it's just mind-boggling to hear. We had three killings last weekend. One of them was a sketchy one in favor of Basha, but a life is a life in regards to the circumstances. Nobody had a right to go kill nobody. You understand what I'm saying? So we hope, and you will hear some people who support the NDP will say, but Kingsley, tell us your opinion. Who should we blame? Really, there should be a blame game in civil segregation into the issue of crime and criminology. And the chronic supporter like Mr. Hamilton will say, oh, you remember what was allegedly said by a seasoned politician in civil segregation? Well, me can't remember what was said, so I will put it in my own understanding of what was said. That Sir James and former commissioner to say should be held responsible for the issue of the crime situation over the 17 years period that NDP was in office. Well, it's 23 years we have gone serving office as Prime Minister. And there are need for us to be concerned, and there is a level of concern taking place where we have too much killings. We're just over 40. And if you ain't careful, we have 2 more months, just under 2 months left in the year, and we hope that it wouldn't go further where it is. So we will never elapse the issue of what took place last year. So, and you will say, should we blame anybody? But if I have a responsibility to be tough on crime and the cause of crime, of course, somebody has to take the responsibility of not providing the service that Vincent Shriner demanded. And who is the Minister of National Security and Prime Minister? Dr. Yaradua Gonzalez. He made a promise to us, you know, as Vincent said, he said, I will be tough on crime and the cause of crime. And we know that Roy Gonzalez was a practicing lawyer, and when he practiced law, before he became Prime Minister, he was a fierce competitor in the court. And we know that he had a lot of experience. But I don't know if he dropped the black ball and he just can't cope with the issue of crime and criminology in Simmons and Grace. And he got a friend of mine listening to the program in Tuesday. You know what he said? I could read his mind, I'm good. You know what he said? Let me play Ron Gonzalez for the issue of crime in Simmons and Grace and criminology. He said that I know them, you know. But you really have to ask yourself, should we blame anybody or should we as men on the International Day of Men do more? And somebody will say, what we could do, we will give the police information of an alleged crime taking place, and then they go on the road and they hear somebody fire some shot at you and say, well, I hear you call me and give the police. So the confidentiality in the police force needs to be up. I listened to my friend Trevor Bailey, who's in charge of crime in Sydney and Grenade. And I said to him a couple weeks ago, I didn't think he understand what I was saying. I said to him that former commissioner of police, they said the police force has 2 parties, the commissioner and the deputy commissioner. And I was saying to Trevor Bailey, aka SARS now superintendent of police, that I am disappointed in him as the person who in charge for it, reading the syllabus and grading the crime. But that they gave you that responsibility because we know what a wonderful policeman he was when he came up the ranks. But like whenever he certain pages, he become something they don't want to do what is expected of him. So crime, criminology, criminal activities continue to plague civilians and the great needs. And you may say, should we blame anybody? I'm supporting you that we should blame whoever is responsible to put the policies in place. I agree with you that we should blame persons who promise that they will deal with the issue of crime. I agree with you that if we appoint commissioners or a commissioner, he or she has the responsibility to work along with the government to put policy in place to deal with the decreasing of crime. And you will hear some people saying, like Glover, they will say, oh, you're beating up on this crime thing. The data show that there is a decrease in crime overall. That might be so, but let me look at the issue that is frightening. The killings and the homicide are taking place in Sindh and the Granny, that we want something to be done. I'm expecting the Prime Minister's press secretary to be calling me at 15 minutes before 9, and I did expect today to have Fritz Bramble, but for some reason Fritz Bramble never fulfilled his promises. I'm not going to ask him to come anymore he probably think I'm not good enough to interview him. So let's hope that the Prime Minister's press secretary calls at 15 minutes to 9. I think he's currently doing some promotion for well, there's advertising, Jackson Enterprise, so the referee work tonight. So let's hear your thoughts. Let me know if you think that we should blame anybody for the issue of crime. And you may say, but Kingsley, you just get your comment around the table. What do you think? Should we blame persons? I think we should blame 5 persons. Ram Gonsalves, Prime Minister, Minister of National Security, Acting Commissioner, Mr. Williams, Deputy Commissioner, Frankie Joseph, Benji Christopher, that's his name, and Trevor Bailey. Those are the rank. If I miss out any rank and file, I'm going to be. I think we should point our fingers at them. They promised they will make this country crime free. And you will say, but no country can be crime free. You're right. But is enough effort being made by these persons to see how we go into the issue of crime and criminality? No, I don't think so. So if you think I'm not saying who to be blamed, I just tell you who we should blame. I give you all the persons who we should blame. May mention a word, they should take the responsibility because they promised from their collective agreement that will make this country safe. And if you feel safe, you can call or send me on WhatsApp at 457-9997, or if you have a digital phone, 532-9997. You could send us a WhatsApp at the same number, 457-9997. Let us hear your position and Ram Gonsalves as Minister of National Security over the 23 years, and if you think that he fulfilled the promise he made us in 2001, where would he be tough on crime and the cause of crime? And some people who suppose hear people say, but Kingsley, Ram Gonsalves put things in place to strengthen the magistrate. We see more magistrate in the magistrate these days. That is true. We see they put something in place to deal with thief man and thief woman, where it's called, and trade and larceny. That is true. We see more trained persons in the police force. We see more personnel in the police force, where we have police force increased by 100%. More women and men taking part in the crime fighting aspect. But are you feeling it? Are you feeling the effort? Well, those of you who feel it, you probably don't have an experience. I have an experience, and I have an experience every day of my life that I have to be answering questions when people come to my country and they ask me, how is the crime situation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Like I said earlier, most of the time I try to disguise my comments because I don't think that no person who drives a taxi should speak negative about the country, whether it is true or false. You have to find a way to disguise it and suffer the effect. And it is what it is. And then you will say, but you don't want to tell them in your taxi what to say when you're using your musician to amplify your position. Of course, I use it to amplify my position because I'm speaking to a broader audience and I'm speaking with a more level of impartiality. And I show that I'm not saying anything that I shouldn't say. What I'm concerned about is the crime situation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I noticed there are lots of people having the battle royal and Facebook up there. Good to see a lot of people. Let me say good believing to Doug Howard, Max, let me say believing to my friend Karen Douglas and those forces up there. But I show my sister is up there and I show you up there listening and making your comments while people anyone of the comments that you want to make a comment about come on, anybody make any sense? If it don't make any sense, just rubbish demonstration. Don't make them be the bigger bigs and Charles and Mr. Hampton, the cry baby. Every day you hear them, it's cry like a baby have been cold.
I just can't do quickly. We've got Valerie with us. Valerie says good night. We'll always have time here.
Yeah, let me touch you all.
Someone is saying, just talk about G2, one for each GP to control the country.
G2.
G2, I can't remember the G2. Then somebody else asked, is a plant or a job?
Is it
Plant or job? I guess it's going
to marijuana. Right. What do you think it is? Eh? If men make it laws and they deem it as a job and it's illegal, it's a job. I want to justify all the bad habits.
Somebody asking a question. So you're not blaming the big men who are committing these crimes?
The big men, I wonder who they are.
I don't know.
I wonder how they're supposed to define big. If it's B, I, G, B capital, I capital, G capital. But who big men is coming crime? Eh? It got some big thugs involving criminology and have people working for them. But if you look at the persons who involved in criminology and killing people and creating homicidal tendencies, is any big man? Eh? Me no big man is so killing people. So I need to explain what I'm saying about big men. Big in structure, big in society. None of these big stand out because we can't think about anybody who big in society and who big in structure does commit crime, especially homicides and killing. I don't know of that. So you lost me there. It are people who involved in criminology behind the scene and have people doing their dirty work for them. But if people choose to do their dirty work for them and get their hands dirty, that's their business. Meanwhile, if they get catch, the authorities must throw the full book at them, they see the full penalty of the law. But until you don't catch them, somebody could be involved in criminal activities and they're not a criminal until you catch them and they are convicted by the court. You can refer to them as being a criminal. Just like I say, I don't like people to use that loophole. You hear reading and news here where they say, oh, we had two more homicides, two more murders. How they arrive at that? Not every killing is a murder. Huh? I hate to hear it. It sounds sensationalism and it make you pay attention, but it's not the right thing for radio announcers and people who prepare news to say that we had three killings over the weekend and three of them, quote unquote, were murdered by people who had forethought and negative intent. I don't know how they come to that conclusion. The time is 7:20, it is 21 minutes on to 9 o'clock. We take a break, come right back with your thoughts.
It's feedback. The code is referred to this and every Tuesday night from 8 p.m. for 2 hours of the right here on BFM 99.1. Join in as he brings a different
No, they were
so they say we are sure one big man. But we know they were big man.
79997.
We must have a big man.
79997.
They must tell us, man.
Whatever you are celebrating, birthdays,
Not that we need a future yet, man. The other man too. The other one, Peter Fiasco. And you said, and what's the point? Welcome people, it's not from far today. I'll be amazed at some of the comments. If people know some of the comments that we just see in the studio, we're not going to even comment on that.
No, let me give you the next one, right?
Yeah.
Somebody writes here. Interesting. Good night, Kingsley. Please don't take any calls from Max. he is on the radio every day talking about different.
Well, last week I did tell him back don't call if he can't. I heard him something and boom to be particular. Sometimes he speaks of nonsense. So I did say to him last week, boy, don't call him a nonsense because I just can't understand how we could have people who claim they love their country. I hear this guy, Charles. Charles cried for everything. Charles had the answer for everything. And Charles gave you the impression that if NDP win, Dr. Fayed just snap your finger and everything will be okay. Let me see who call it. Let me put on the headphones to see. If it's love, I'll cut you out. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
And then?
Of course you're on there. That's what you call him, eh?
I was trying to say my cousin is on. Okay.
You see, he called it every mic, but he might come up beyond that. How you hear me? Yeah, 4579997 532 9997. You could tell us on WhatsApp at 4579997. That's our WhatsApp number also on air. It's amazing, and we speak about the issue of crime, and you won't get much people speak on the issue of crime because they will say, well, it affects me, so I really can't talk. But until it's shown to you, you're going to know exactly what we're talking about. But if you only know the negative impact homicide and killings of create on civilians and Iranians, you would know the nature and the seriousness first, as Vincent said, to try to keep civilians and Iranians crime free. Like I say, there are no country in the world that is crime free. But if you keep speaking about the importance of Vincent and non-national, trying to live in the confine of your law and do the right thing, we will have less negative impact on our country. I want to touch some, like I was saying earlier, it just has some people. We give them another call. Keep your hand in the mouth, eh? Good evening.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Hey, Mr. Peters, you hearing much better tonight?
Right. Just spoke about this Matthew.
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead, repeat yourself. We didn't hear you.
Actually, about somebody what the thing.
Oh, yeah. I don't know the big man, then big. You know the big man, because you see the point, but you're supposed to know. Yeah, you're breaking up here, you're not as fluent as you normally be. I don't know if it's that musical company ain't paying attention to your phone. You're breaking up, so we can't hear exactly what you're saying. And we know whatever you call it. Oh, you can't hear, big man? Why? Because he makes any job he once had? No, okay. Well, that only possible to me then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you look at? Everything they want answer us.
The barbers and the Facebook advance a lot by far.
Right. But last few days is been some kind of about 2 weeks ago. You go build up. Yeah, that one do that is still in this farm in a hammer, go build up area. Right? The farm is last year about 69. Which is really hasn't farm.
Yes.
And it's good that they have. Yeah, at that time we had what? And therefore, it was more
But Mr. Peters, some people listen to you and they hear me refer to you as a police officer. You don't think they will be saying that you're doing some comparison and it is unjustified if you do comparison?
I don't think it's just because these are skills that coming over and you so yeah, so I know from they were saying that with that part one come on. Those are the questions they have for this program and over. And they have this amount of with the field that I mean, yes, I don't like killing, I don't like all that. I think we over when we just when we went again, no one really made this comment. But it's war, but it's war,
yeah, well.
I look at that point, I think we need to show that we can use this.
Yes. Well, I don't normally oppose you, but I'm not in your corner tonight at all, not supporting your comments at all. Yeah, like I said, I respect them, and you're probably speaking from an ex-police officer who do the comparison, but it sounds like you're justifying the killings and the homicide that taking place, and I ain't supporting you with that one at all. Yeah, definitely. That is why I don't refer to a killing or homicide as a murder until the police do the investigation and the DPP of dissolving if the nature should be charged as a murder, and then if the court found that you are guilty, I will say that we had a murder, but to say every killing is a murder, I think is an unfortunate statement people now make.
So I think we should probably know is, nobody wants to do. Into this state criminal is right. They do everything with. They do not take it to be business.
Yes.
I think more than what they have is good. Could be easy as that is enough. But if they next to get it to start,
Yes, I appreciate that. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Peters. Have a great evening. Yeah. But here's something now. You mentioned Barbados, right? And they have a couple newspapers, especially Nation newspaper. You don't get them sensational topic on the front page of those papers. If you have a homicide or a killing situation, it is splattered on the front page of some of the newspapers who involved in printing. It's probably for sensationalism and for them to sell their newspaper. So what about this negative impact it is creating a civilization? Well, Mr. Peters did mention to 3 different countries that he said have frightening killings rate, but I should say that you were justifying that. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening.
Hey.
Hey.
Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Horn. How are you doing?
I'm trying to stay focused.
Yeah.
Good evening to you and to your co-pilot in the studio.
Yeah.
All my listeners, including my special friend in Canada. My very special friend in Canada.
Yeah.
I see Mr. Mesa come on last week. He ain't giving up at all, man.
Mr.
I can go catch you for your Friday. Maybe in Northern Canada.
Mr. Mesa is have a sledgehammer, so you gotta be careful, eh? Yeah.
You got a sledgehammer?
Yeah, you got a sledgehammer.
That's right. Anyway, kids, in response to that demo was saying just now, Barbados in its history never had 100 murders Unlike what I think I hear he said just now. Did he say that Barbados had 100 murders last year?
No, I don't think he said that. I can't recall it.
Correct me then. Because I think it's subject to correction. How much murders you said I had last year?
I can't recall it. A lawyer just spoke to him because his phone wasn't as fluent as it's supposed to be, so I didn't get everything that he was saying, but I didn't agree with him where he was trying to justify the killings that taking place in Sweden because he's speaking from a police standpoint because once the police is out of the police, so you have to kind of forgive him.
But I agree with you that in certain countries when there's a murder, they put it in the newspapers up front and sensationalize the event so as to increase the sales of the papers.
Yes, and it's had a negative impact on the country when you do that.
You know, because everything don't have to be on the front page. There are a lot of good things happening in the Caribbean with young people. St. Vincent, Barbados, and the whole lot of them. Very good positive things, and you don't see them splash by the front page for a joke. Unless it's some rich body child. If it's a poor person child that commit homicide like you would before a calling, you see on the front page. And I'm getting that. But I just, in case I am wrong, like I said, I speak subject to correction. And if I'm wrong, I want to apologize to the good gentleman. Now, in the history of this country, we've never had more than 100 murders in any year. I think last year was the first time we had most murders, and it was 50 something or 40 now. We had a murder last night, I want today again. I bring the numbers to 48 murders for the year. But we need to do something in the Caribbean with these killings, all these murders.
Well, I tell you something. I like to see a collective agreement between all the prime ministers and ministers of national security. If we could come together with a broad policy to deal with the issue of killings and the homicide rate in the Caribbean, because it is becoming frightening, and I am concerned about that. So I'm hoping that they go. I'm expecting nothing but the best from Mayor Moti, and you're also expecting nothing but the best from Rob Gonzalez and Rowley from Trinidad and the guys from Antigua. Yes, but that's yes. So.
But anyway, Kingsley, my answer or my solution to the problem in the Caribbean is my sound a bit radical to you. And I think killings in the Caribbean is going to increase by the year. And if we're going to stop or slow down, we're going to start hanging some people in the Caribbean. I'm so serious.
No, I agree with you. I think we should go back. Well, it's still in the books where people could be hanged for killing. I just found guilty for a homicide.
Jamal is straight with you. Will tell you, because he's a DJ, he knows the music. He will tell you that Sugar Alice in Trinidad got a song that near hang them out. And if you hang them, the people from their phone numbers will go down. Hang them. And just going to say that someone will look for that song and play. Hang them. Because the only way that we can be able to control murders in the Caribbean is by hanging some people. Because as far as I can tell somebody who was spend your 5 years in jail, especially the young. I really come out of the free again for the street. Sir.
As young as I am, and I know that I'm very much younger than you.
I'm 70.
I do, well, that's just, well, I'm correct there. I do not agree that hanging would change.
You sound like Glasgow.
No. I don't believe it would change it would change anything.
It would change the trajectory.
I don't believe so.
But
nobody commits a murder to get caught. And
I don't agree with that.
You say that?
You said about people don't commit murders to get cash, but I want to tell that you might take people in broad daylight in front of people. Yeah, something it has been happening in Barbados. This seems to suggest that the murderers don't care. You agree?
They'll care if they're getting caught. But nobody goes and commits a crime with the intention of getting caught.
Well, what I'm telling you is that in Barbados they commit murders in high daylight.
Oh, in Barbados.
So that suggests to me that they don't care if they get catch or not. You agree? But let me tell you something, Jamal. Let me say something further on the issue. The Caribbean is a place that strives mainly, or not mainly, but a lot of countries in the Caribbean strive on tourism. And St. Vincent is a place I love. You think that I would want to come to St. Vincent here? In a small country like St. Vincent, there are so many murders going on a regular basis. You think I want to come to St. Vincent? Because I would be scared to move around. I would go to get things to drive me out.
I don't walk in the night, eh?
Why are you going to make night?
You know, I'm opposed. I would not want. I mean, I know there are some countries that have mentioned, and well, I'm not gonna call any names, right? Where the crime rate is very high.
The crime capital, yes.
But we do have a lot of people still visiting them.
Jamaica is one.
Right.
I can call the names for you.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Jamaica is one. Because Jamaica got the highest crime rate in the Caribbean. And the point is get the most tourists.
But I'm still saying to you that a lot of people still go there.
Well, I'm endorsing what you're saying.
Yeah, I agree with you, yes.
But let me say this to you, right? I said on calling programs in this country already that if I had to deal with violence, or like I call murderers violent, if I had to deal with them and I can't get ahead, the amount of time I'm going to give them in prison, I wish they were gay. Let me give you an example, come on. Let me give you an example, right? If you kill somebody and you're 25 years old, the law should say that you can't come out of prison till you get 75 years old. And if you're 25 years old, come out 75, you can spend 50 years in jail. You with me?
Okay, go ahead.
So whatever age you are and you kill somebody, you're coming out of prison when you get 75. So the younger you are, the more time you can spend in jail. And the older you are, the less time you spend in jail. Because the older you become, the more inclined, the more, hold a minute. The younger you are, the more inclined you will be to kill. And the older you are, the less inclined you would be to kill. So I'm saying that if a man at 60 kills somebody, you could have more often than not, that would be self-defense. And if the fine gets there, you know he would spend 15 years in jail. Because 60 and 15 is 75. That's the way to deal with it.
Mm.
And the other thing that they should do, I don't know if they're doing St. Vincent, and I have been speaking about them on the radio stations in Barbados for a long time, and they seem now to take up me on my suggestion. And that is, if you give a man 5 years in prison, that is 5 years less 15 months. Because a prison year is 9 months. Right? So I'm saying that they should stop with that. A man spent 5 years less 15 months. So I didn't give a fellow 5 years in prison. You give him 12 for the 60 months and give him the same the whole 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
You with me, Jamal?
I'm listening to you.
Right. So that your 5 years to increase the prison time, the time spent in prison by cutting out the 9-month prison sentence and giving them a longer time in jail by sentencing you by months as opposed to sentencing you by years.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying, of course.
No, I agree with you that because some of these big shot, bright shot lawyers, them when the court find their client guilty, they could appeal conviction or they could appeal sentencing. And if the sentencing is from their standpoint is too harsh, most often time they win the appeal and sentencing and the client get less time in jail because the lawyer find a strong point to appeal sentencing. They're not worried about the conviction, but they just want to appeal to their client that they did their work, and that's what the best they could do for them. The best they could do for them. Yeah.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, a fellow in Barbados gets 55 years in jail. And the judge told him, you got to spend 55 years in jail, clear 55 years, before we could consider you for parole.
Mm-hmm.
And he found it now in his either late 30s or early 40s, somewhere around there, which means he was dead in prison.
Yeah, I'm right.
That is kind of sense that we need in the Caribbean. They give people more time in jail. Because the way I see it, Kingsley, is that in Barbados, hanging is effectively over. Let me tell why I say that. Many years ago in Barbados, when you kill somebody, you go to court, and you're found guilty, it is compulsory then for the judge to sentence you to hang. Now the law has been changed to say that if you are found guilty now, you getting hang is at the discretion of the judge. And I am sure that no judge in this country is going to sentence anybody to hang because the judges people told them might be frightened. So what is going to happen now? That there will be effectively no more hanging because no judging has sentenced somebody to be sentenced to hang.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way I see it.
Yes.
Anyway, I take up a lot of things tonight on this program.
Yes, well, thank you.
I want some of what I say may not make sense to a lot of people. But I hope people will get the idea of what I'm saying.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you that the authorities should find ways, and one of the ways they could find to deal with people involved in killings and homicide is to increase by law the sentencing, give them more time in prison. I agree with you.
I'm not only more time, but when you sentence them, don't sentence them to years. Sentence them by months. So that if you give a fellow 5 years, you spend 12 to 60 months in jail.
Yes.
Why if you give a fellow 5 years, he can spend 5 by 9 to 45 months in prison.
Yes.
This means he may get a year and 3 months off. And that's good enough.
Yes. No, I agree with you.
We definitely need to do something in the Caribbean because I think as far as crime is concerned, it's not only in Jamaica or in Barbados, but it's all over the Caribbean that crime is just running away.
Yes.
And we are a tourist destination.
Yes.
Collectively we are. And
Yes.
we've got to do something with crime because I want people in the Caribbean and the leaders of the Caribbean to understand and to know that there are other places in the world that is as beautiful as the Caribbean. And I can tell that because I used to go to sea, and I went all over the world and I've seen some very beautiful places that we probably have never heard of.
Yes.
So we need to do something about this crime thing, because if it gets too far ahead of us, you can't be ready. All I don't think we can get it back, but we got to stand and get the gangs off the streets. That's another important.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, thank you.
All right, man, you take care.
And Anita, I wanted to tell you this, my dear. I got a new phone again that I got to get it set back up. So, as soon as I get it set up, you're going to be hearing from me.
Okay,
So
now.
don't worry about things here, Mr.
Mason.
Mason.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we go there.
Yeah.
That is just too small a piece of the stool.
All right, so thank you for calling. Yes, okay, yeah. All right. I agree with Mr. Horn that the issue of sentencing could be more harsh. We like to see that Royal Conservative Minister of Legal Affairs go to the Parliament and Cabinet and make the sentencing harder. So whenever you have somebody who is convicted for killing an ex-person, you give them a lengthy time. And I agree with him that when you say years, no, break it down to months. So they will spend the full time in terms of years, okay? You tell somebody 30 months. Yeah, someone submit something.
Yeah, somebody says, Kingsley, nobody is going to roll up on you and cut you down for no reason until your people stop ripping off your brother and sister, then the crime rate would not get better. I sort of understand that.
We're going to try to understand everything that Kingsley leaves from the room. Just leave them alone.
Anyways, so then Kingsley, tell the ex-cop he is missing the point. St. Vincent does have a smaller population, so per capita, St. Vincent crime rate is way higher than the other countries mentioned.
Well, if he called, I guess he called all this in that I normally support Mr. Peter, but tonight I did not agree with him. I didn't think the comparison rate at the night time because when I check the population of Barbados to the population of St. Vincent and check the killings last year to our population compared to Barbados, Barbados and those other countries. It's like I say, it's not frightening, it's not alarming, but there's need for us to be concerned about the homicide and killings that are taking place in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 457-99-97. And Kamala is going on through the Facebook Live to see if anything interesting. They have any old.
It's very interesting out there, but I'm unable to be.
Some of the language is strong. Yeah, some of the language is not really friendly, but we want to acknowledge that we are paying attention to you on our Facebook Live. Yeah. And it's good to know that you have any old discussion, but we can't comment on some of the comments that you're writing because of the language that you're using. But we acknowledge that you're there. You seem to have a call. Good evening.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
You have a good topic tonight. Very good topic tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, I only call I said to call for popular. But my biggest thing is we will solve the crime. That's the scary part. You could kill by though. Because I was something about Monday that somebody got shut out of my land down.
Yes.
And like this crime is already solved. That is what I'm scared about too, you know.
Well, I express that same concern to somebody that with the killings that we've seen, I am not too impressed with the investigation details and the effort by the police to solve some of the crimes that are taking place. Mr. Peters, who once stood as a police, said earlier, finding persons who killing people and creating homicide seems to be a big thing. He said it's difficult to do that. Yes, it is difficult because it's a killing, but we need to see much more effort being put into that issue of solving that crime.
One thing I want to see again to it, this is legal gun. The crime, the penalty was higher. What the penalty is legal gun, give you 50 years, 40 years, again, no bail for you. What the penalty is legal gun, give you 50 or 40 years in jail.
But you're making sense of that because I listened to the authorities some months ago giving an amnesty and persons to bring their gun, right? No question asked. I think it's 4 guns they got and 33 bullets in them. But if you hear the amount of persons who don't die by illegal guns and killing by guns, something needs to be done and deal with them people. That's why I tell you, maybe even a stop and sort. Just walk in the place and start the place.
When it comes to illegal guns, more bail for you. You go and like 50 years, you're going to go and come with the crime with illegal guns.
But of course, I agree with you that something needs to be done, and this amnesty for bringing gun and no question asked, me supporting that. That's why that seems not to be working anyhow. Too much guns and the streets are symbols and the Grenadines that something needs to be done.
You hear people getting died. I didn't bring neither here, and somebody didn't bring and shoot. You find for students to find somebody who's with, but then you find somebody who's with.
Yeah, where's Which I didn't grade you, which I didn't grade you, Mount Parnassus?
No, I didn't talk.
Oh, you didn't talk itself, St. George's there, okay, all right.
Yeah, and I'm there today, tomorrow, put it up somebody.
Well, they're probably very efficient when it comes to solving crime and killing things in Grenada. That's good, that thumbs up to them.
I met a lady, I work for the police, I met a lady probably two people today. And she told me she was sending everybody independent. And then the next people she leave, they shoot somebody with an using a hotel or some place, in the middle of the place. And then she don't want to go back home again. And she was talking, she went from the next month yet, but from Grenadine, but see, when the crime is so much up there, I'm not being cheap, but the crime is too much up there.
Yeah, and that is why I decided to come and speak on the issue, because people don't know the serious impact this is having on our country's development. And if you having the nature of crime taking place so often, it's going to humble the country GDP, it's going to humble the country tourism product is very fragile, and it's going to create a negative impact where we're going to have limited people come to St. Vincent because they don't feel safe coming to this country. Yeah.
I'm not really, I don't believe in politics. I believe in the economic of the country. I'm not really impressed with the crime fight there. I'm not a person, I'm a residential worker. I'm not really impressed with the crime fight. You can't stop crime. But like when it kills somebody, like people being against you want to take it, I'm not impressed with it. I'm not really impressed.
Yeah, but I'm in your corner with that too. I think that Gonzalez need to do more. We need to put more strengthening measures in place and come up with some strong policies to deal with the issue of the killings that taking place in St. Vincent. Because he didn't make us that promise in 2001 that he'd be tough on crime, and because of crime, he probably can't find a method to deal with it after 23 years.
Every time you make somebody who kills them, it's gone, you know. If I do the legal gun, 70 years and gone, 70 years in jail. The legal gun is not gone like we kill people 70 years.
Yes. Well, thank you for yes, thank you for calling me. Yes, we appreciate that. But I agree, man. And that thought, this statement about that, he remind me, this issue of amnesty. Bringing a gun, no question asked. So I could have a gun that somebody used to kill somebody, and because I carry it, no question asked. No, they even nobody sit down to see if that thing we seem to have a caller. Keep your animals, eh? Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Mr. Stu.
Good evening.
Everything is okay.
A few months ago, Tony in Trinidad wrote in the newspaper that you had somebody fucking get a murder to be hanged. No question asked.
And you support that?
I said, I don't tell anybody so. I don't promote it, I don't tell anybody. That's what I'm going.
You don't believe in killing, you don't believe in killing nobody, you want somebody to kill you?
Are you going to get that?
So in other words, Mr. Stewart, you don't believe in hanging, so we shouldn't go back to hanging people?
I'm not sure after we trade that, he has good argument.
Okay.
Have a referendum to trade that people, able people, and it's agreed, don't want to know physical issue. No?
Yes.
Right. And second point is, a few years ago, the reporter wanted to say that I can have a record, one murder per year.
Wow.
One. And I can have over 3 million people.
Yeah, I can remember some time ago that Greedy they only had 9 for a year. That was tremendous compared to us there. Yeah.
And Singapore has the second highest murder per capita.
Well, that is what Kaman was saying too. Yeah, that was Kaman was saying to somebody tonight that for capita it's frightening. It's really frightening. Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah, thank you for calling, Mr. Schultz. I appreciate that. 457-99-97. Send us your thoughts via WhatsApp at 457-99-97. And we want to say good evening to all those posters on Facebook. Good evening, Donna. Good to know you listen. Rat is good to know you listen. my two very good friends, Jacqueline Jordan and her mommy's best friend, my sister Amaria Valerie, got to know that you're following us and you make the show. Spend your 2 hours with us trying to compliment Margaret's bar. We seem to have a call online. We keep their finger in their mouth, eh? Good evening. Oh, Lord have mercy. That's why we have a hand for the mouse, you know. Anytime we catch your voice, we cut you off, eh? That's why we have a hand in the mouse, eh?
Somebody said we need to equip our police officers with gun metal detectors that could give our police officers signal when gun carriers present in the air.
So equipping the police with guns on the street will help to eliminate the issue of killing, you think so? You share that view?
Also, somebody says criminals should be scared to carry around guns in public.
But it's hard for us to identify persons who involved in criminal activities and the criminal because, well, let me tell you something. Like I said earlier, somebody don't agree with me, but I'm of the view that marijuana is a gateway drugs, and drugs have to take 99.9% of the issue of criminality and the issue of killings and homicides that are taking place in the Caribbean. Drugs, cocaine and hashish, all that kind of thing. And I used to know them. That's what I tell you. If I know you're dealing with drugs, you know, me keep it far from you. If me don't know, me talk to you about it. Once me suspect you're dealing with that, go away business. Me have the use for you. Can someone say? I mean, why you kill me. Yeah, we free that. Anybody have any interested comments up there? They have it. Let me say good evening to my very good friend, Sister Anita Baptiste. Good to know that you're listening. And you could give us a call or you could speak with you too if you wish to. Good to know that you're listening. And the Queen Fresh Song of 99.9 WFM. Let's go. Yeah, what's up there? No, you're free to read it on it?
No. I was just trying to go through it first because somebody writes, I heard who joined the different station being supportive about.
I heard it too. Nothing about
the recent crime.
Yeah, I heard it.
On the ground.
Yeah, I heard it. He was saying to be, he was not informed, he was on holiday. Let me tell you something. I don't buy that because he was it. I just got him chase and sergeant because he went to the ground so good. And now he's assistant commissioner of police in charge of crime. I listened to him, and he was being so safeguard. I don't know if he been extremely safeguard after he came out and said there are gangs in Timbinson. And all of a sudden, when he made a statement, he got up on holidays. Maybe there were 4 holidays that put the police through. So he was being really safe. That is why I no longer have the respect for Trevor Bailey like I had been before. So it's become acting commissioner, he sounds like a politician. I mean, that's just how I feel. He sounds like a politician. Yeah, that's case with Papa. Yeah, it'll be very mindful. You know what I mean? What do do? When I put that in the field. The time is different, so the girl is 21 minutes, 30 seconds after 9 o'clock.
But Mackenzie, is it not what people want to hear, right, from the police? Because I've read from the news outlets like CNN, Eyewitness News, so forth, police releases after a crime. But is it that people want to hear detailed information that can hinder the investigation of these crimes?
What the caller said earlier today, that, and he was speaking from the gray area, he said he's not impressed with the crime fighting method of the Royal Citizen Hearing Police Force. I don't think that Vincent should be expecting Trevor Bailey and the Commissioner of Police to come and speak to the security details, but they need to be informed. They need to be informed, and they are trained as police and high-ranking people. They will know what to say and how to say, and how you want to interpret what they say It's up to you. But they should give you some sort of information because there's something. My sister Anna is very concerned about me leaving here because of the nature of my impartiality and my comments and where we are situated. And I am very mindful of that. You know, just when we go out tonight, I make sure me go out in front of you go up here. You got people so funny. Like I said, I called Mackie say last week Tuesday, and because I have to negotiate going up Mackie, a guy made some derogatory remarks. And if I didn't have a passenger in my vehicle, I'd have answered him back for that. So you see me? Let me leave you alone. So why you go back there over here to see if I see him, you know? But you know, gone. Yeah, that's how I want to tell the piece of my mind, yeah? Because me, what? Nobody ain't gonna pee on me and tell me rain coming, you understand? Me ain't looking out for nobody see right up there. But people just want to abuse you. And if you respond to them in a particular way, oh, you're the radio and you play this and you play that, but you must speak for me and tell me when I come. No, don't expect that. Don't expect to be that kind of foolish person. Tell us to take a break and pay some homage to our sponsor, Basil's Bar, and we'll be back with your comment and your commentary.
It's feedback. The court came with different They found them on Tuesday night from 8 p.m. for hours.
My name is you must put the volume number in the system so they show you the show.
It's feedback to be a part of the feedback program.
But not the conversation.
Yeah, but them like what I'm doing next. I want to see what I'm doing next. Like when I see something I want to do next.
Oh, they have the battle royale. Yeah. But it's good that we take a discussion for themselves. When it goes to let them know that we have now that their day.
Yes, we are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with an exquisite ambiance. We have a set menu and 3 a la carte menus to choose from, and we are flexible to all requests. We go above and beyond to serve you. Basil's Bar Kingstown, where it's more than just a meal, it's an adventure. Also reservations at 457-2713.
Okay.
Yeah. The time in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is 25 minutes, 30 seconds after 9 o'clock. We have another 30 minutes on the program, 457-99-97, 532-99-97, 457-99-97. It's our WhatsApp. I want to say good night to all those folks who have in their very robust discussion on the issue of crime in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Facebook. So we just want to acknowledge that we know that you're there, but because of some of this language you're using, we can't comment on some of your commentary, but we know you are there. We seem to have another caller online. Keep your hand in your mouth. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, you see Charles? You hear Charles Lambert?
Well, I tell you something, I didn't hear it, but somebody joined to my attention. Yes, I didn't hear it. But you know what I tell you, Queens, them they cry baby, man. I remember them, man. Them cry baby, they're bigger babies.
All different programs we go on and mention it.
Yeah.
Taking it personally.
Yeah.
Once on radio, give your opinion, people gonna put it like it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, but Queens, you know, sometimes I listen to them, right? And they claim to be supporters and lovers of St. Vincent and Grenadines. But they're not lovers of St. Vincent and Grenadines. They want to see NDP win so they can come and have their own way. But I tell you something, that's a going to say a bigger statement recently. You know, World Boss has six in a row for them if they continue have their foolish supporters like Bigger Pigs and Mr. Hamilton and Max and all them who have the hate for our Gonzalo. Yeah? Me and Rob Gonzalo don't see eye to eye, but Rob Gonzalo is prime minister and have to have a level of respect for the man. The people voted for him. But we just can't beat up on Rob Gonzalo because we want to be in line with Charles and Bigger Pigs. Bigger Pigs have an obsession about Rob, you know? Obsession.
Yeah, Rob, every time.
Yeah, every day. I believe when he wake up, he just sit down, God for wake me up. Serious.
Yeah, man, the people in the afford anything like look like the hotel that they built. One more thing, oh, you know, who give me that money to stay. Come on, you have 93 rooms there. You can't tell me there's 100 different in this will be able to afford that.
Let me tell you something. The Holiday Inn Hotel at Diamond will be officially open for the public and visitors. Have bookings right up until April next year. Full occupancy rate. Sanders Hotel, who I don't make any money from, they have occupancy rate full up until the end of April 2025. So I don't know what Bigger Bigs and Hamilton is crying about. And they'll have to understand, we only get in this business here because of the international airport which was built at Agen. It complements them hotel here.
And that money, the extra money, they will have some of these real estate stay on the air.
But of course, you pay ads.
Yeah, when people go out and they shop at the supermarkets and other places, they turn around and advertise on these real estate, and that gets to keep them in power.
But exactly.
Keep them on the air.
Yes.
So these people, I don't know, it's just politics. A lot of things is just politics.
Yeah. I enjoy it with the foolishness though. Yes. Okay, Queen. Yeah, right. So, yeah. But you see, some people, for instance, man, you have to try to be impartial. You can't have an obsession about Rob Gonsalves because you hate him. You hate him with a passion. Hate him with a passion. It's not gonna cry, baby. Want to nice with him every Friday night too. You need some fire. Me know what he wanted and he couldn't get. I said, man, you know, sometimes when I hear him, I just throw my video outside, and I'm hearing much about 50 radio, get angry, that is the fast on the radio. I don't understand these people, man. Let me change, you know, there's something. I met my father supporting PPP and Joshua Man, yeah, and I can remember Joshua used to live up Mackey's Hill. And my father pointed out to me that they have a car. We really would have called it either one. Yeah, okay. Because somebody's trying to get into it. Yeah. You're going to Bungo Shaka, still coming in, but we are very technical when you come in. So my father pointed out to me of Joshua. And I see, I read it, I'm looking careful. I asked myself, what did Joshua do so bad that in his speed that we have? I look at the former parliamentarian, I see him, I say, he appears to me that he having problem with his sight. I look at one, he's what Papa boasted. I don't know what is it. I often think about Jerry Scott. I think about Mr. Cookshan. I think about Alpian Allen. I remember Joshua. I remember the ex-Anthony Denny's father. What's his name again? I said, the every name. And I said to myself, being a politician is a big thing and sacrifice. People might say, oh, well, they live comfortable lives. They probably live comfortable lives when they are in office. But let me tell you something. Me ain't envy no politician for their job because, hey, I know of a particular politician in this today that is a part of the ULP, and we speak quite often, and I always remind him, I say, big man, pay attention to politicians in the past who made sacrifices that benefit people, and today, some of them getting here just to get a ride. People like bill come, they can't buy a politician. The water bill come, they gone. You see Bones Boy? Bones Boy, you could tell her about a life thing. If you know the amount of people who Bones Boy don't help. Mr. Boy, I can't be water bill. Mr. Boy, this. I'm sure you have to go to school. I don't know how you go to school. Me envy our father job because if father ain't keep father head on, some of you gonna watch them what I see. And my father showed me Joshua. My father pointed out to Joshua. And I am a bit concerned about that. And I said to my friend Jimmy Prince, Jimmy Prince, remember yourself first. It's about you. Let's go to that corner. Yeah. Hey! Hi. Frank, thank you. Oh, no, I forgot. No, I apologize. My apologies. Good evening, Mrs. Mason. Go ahead. Come on, laughing after you, not with you, after you.
I think you should have apologized for answering you. What is it, oi?
Hey.
Hey, whatever.
I
No, if you did that, I think you should apologize.
No, man, I want that I want to rush, man. Mm. Beckett, they say the truth for their heart for them, okay? So.
Mr. Hart, get in touch with you, please. She's trying to get in touch with you. I know you had your problems and my sister gives you another one to get back on the book. But she needs to get in touch with you, please, sir. If you still have the number, if you don't, call me and I'll give it back to you, okay?
I hear your computer in the background. I like Shido. Yeah, because if I come on, she said I come on. I have my fans come bigger than you.
Anita, I didn't get that.
Rich and Pop. Yeah. I tell you, we have a bus car coming soon. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. Okay, coming soon. All right, anytime. Yeah, but Anita, he sang young. I follow this. He's 70 years old. The man sang young boy. Yeah, he's 70.
What's this going on?
For
friendly?
For boyfriend, this.
A boyfriend.
Yeah, she got about 15 boyfriends now. Yeah. That was she got a bus car coming soon.
When they go to the keep things jealous.
Don't forget, Anita. I have two ladies that listen to me who I love me 100%. You know, and who let me tell you what love. Who care for me? Jordan, I buy two. Okay.
Yeah, but listen. If I alone care, I alone love you. You want no people like God, then other people love you.
Oh Lord.
You understand what I'm saying? But here, somebody I go tell me off me, they sent me message to me to tell me that I tried to buy you. And I tell you there, I say, here what happened. You bring me up to the one and care that for me to send that and tell them that they couldn't care much about children because the value is cheap. If Anita could buy it, the value that's nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So he, you get it and then you look at it. But no, you they need to buy you and walk not to them, then I say, not but you want to rest. That's why you could buy you.
That answers it. Wow. Wow. I hope I get the message. I hope I get the message. Because we know they're listening. Thank you. Okay, all right. Right. So I was saying before I enter call that today's politician, whether you are UFP or NDP, remember it's about you. Don't make the ultimate sacrifice and then you end up struggling. Struggling. Some politicians who did extremely well, struggling to them because they tried all the best to make sure that they could help Vincent Chan. Some Vincent Chan and they just turned it back and they I don't envy all the for the job. But I'll tell you something, I want to deal with something issues and it's issue. I have some questions I want to ask. Janet Matthews, I want you to answer me. Because you're from my area and you are a vocal UFP supporter. So I want you to answer me some of the question here. You know who is Curtis King? Do you know who is Curtis King? Yes. You may say yes. Do you know who is Mr. Cupid? And you say, of course, Kingsley. I know his mom and his father. His mother is a beautiful woman in the true sense of the word. And his father is an interested man who bring up praise picture. And the next question I want to ask, do you know who is Louise Mitchell? Oh yes, she's the daughter of former Susie Mitchell, former Prime Minister Simmons and Green. What else do you know about Louise Mitchell, Janet Matthews? And the people who would be responsible for making the nomination for the candidate of choice for the NDP in the next election in East St. George, I want you to think about the choices that you have and what you should be given serious consideration. You're going to vote for me because I am the daughter of former Prime Minister Sir James Mitchell. Are you going to vote for me because you believe that I'm more attractive in terms of attracting sponsors for the NDP? We should vote for somebody like Mr. Cupid. Even if he don't win Curtis King in the next election, he will be a bright star for the future because he's young and enterprising. You know, it's really mind-boggling to see how people who want to make themselves available for candidates shopping around to be the nominated person to be elected to represent the people who's going to vote for the NDP in the next election in East St. George. And I am making an appeal for people to give those persons who give it themselves consideration. Pay attention to the history of the person. See if you could meet that person or persons who you may like and see if you could approach them. Are they approachable? Do they have simple interests at heart? Or they just think, well, traditionally, politics are in the blood, so I should be the obvious choice? No, it shouldn't be like that. Let me tell people again. Curtis King, better known as Buffy, the boy from 2-6 on top of it. He ain't easy to beat. The man is as grounded as they could come. Second nature does win in South York because of his family tie and the NDP. The only issue Curtis King is strong. And if you want to beat Curtis King, you have to bring somebody like Mr. Cupid, who have intimate ties with the area that the Gumi, Pile, Fountain, and that thing. You just don't bring somebody because they are the former Prime Minister, Dr. Sojourner Mitchell, and that is the pass mark just to become candidate. Let's say she eventually become the candidate of choice and she didn't win the seat for the NDP. What next? Who next? Man, let me tell you something. Mr. Thomas, Mr. James, Mr. Wright, Mr. Martin, and whoever ought be. Let me know all of you. I talked to one day right last night. He said he's not a part of that anymore. When are they going to decide that? Think about the persons who make themselves available and the interest they're showing to the constituency lately and why we should vote for them to be the candidate of choice and if we should eventually vote for them when the next election is called to be the elected parliamentarian of East St. George. Not because Curtis appear to be indispensable. You never know. You never know how people is going to think. And we hope that when the time comes, that you, who has the executive authority today to nominate the candidate of choice, will do what is best interest of the people of East St. George and not the best interest of the NDP because they figure, well, oh, she's the daughter of former Prime Minister Sojourner Mitchell. You understand? It goes beyond that. It goes beyond that. I'm looking for a winner for the NDP, and I don't think that Louise Michel is a winner. I think that Mr. Cupid stands a better chance to win that seat against Curtis than Louise Michel will. Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, everything going calm.
I listen from this family to come down, but I really couldn't talk for the grand. I don't really know what to say.
Yeah.
Over the years, the next new tradition and people point and issues like they say, men don't really talk and discuss issues.
Yeah.
But is anybody really taking notes to say, well, what is it that's going on? To me, it seems like if I should have mentioned something they bring on the country.
Yeah.
Make the country the back,
Yeah.
Something about anyone that we should have put some people we want to shut up and leave it alone.
Yeah, well, I agree with you that there are some people in the same way when you talk about the issue of crime, and if you point your finger at Ragans and Commissioner acting, they say that you want to mash up the country, you want to say negative things.
Something like that, what the listening? I mean, what the taking those to do? Even if you call a meeting in that area, you call a meeting in this area, I mean, they can't go to the shut off. They have a consultation in Chateau, one in Banga, one in,
Yes.
So you gotta do use that feedback or something, because some of the areas that are taking place. Nothing over the years, nothing.
No, I agree with you because I can remember they had a mobile police station in the Fountainville area. How impactful that was, I don't know. But the idea of that being there, I remember it had one in Glen and it one had it over Edinburgh. And over the years, Edinburgh has been an area where you have had some killings and gun related matters. I can remember I went in a particular area to take a job and for a complex and then asked me what time it is. I said, well, hey, I said to him, if you have got the guy gonna shoot me, I mean, me just drive off. Yeah. Yeah, we just said to myself.
But talking to you, I mean, you're one report and you said publicly that, you know, I mean, if something given the police information or something, but leave it alone and understand what going my way.
Man,
Maybe it's how far can I be one of people who can use the public to you say something.
Man, I could remember when Keith Miller was commissioner, I gave some points of information and the police man come and tell me he knows me who tell the police.
Yeah.
I say no wonder people don't want to get all the information at all because yeah.
I mean, we really know what they're doing. But at the same time, they take it as a fight, and they want people to do it.
Yeah, but Carl from.
And you leave it all the agenda, this back road to go to your yard, and then you hear, well, somebody said they keep last night, but when you do the energy yourself, you know?
Yeah.
It's all wrong, but
Yeah.
you should listen to the people over the years. So that's why I said that if you people really, they're not coming.
Carl, I live up there, right? And they break my house about 10 times. 10 times. I suspect a person. I try to report attention, right? When I reach home, the lady complained to me, you went up by the shop and make some noise. I had to do that. You know why I had to do that? Because the person who I suspect breaking the place, right? I tell the police man, you know, the police man go and tell the man that I say, is he breaking my place? Yeah, and they don't break the place about 10 times. But here what happened? I hope a day when they come in, right? That I see them before they see me. So the police will come for them, and the police will come for me. If I'm sleeping, well, they could kill me in the sleep. But 10 times, and hey, Carl, I'm gonna tell you something, right? If I'm a police officer came to me some time ago. And here he comes to tell me now. A woman came to the airport, right? And she wanted some US dollars to buy. So I sent her some US dollars, right? But because you accumulate US money, you don't know where she's getting it from. So she probably got some counterfeit one in the crowd. She tell it to her police friend. You know what you do? He come by the airport to confront me to tell me that his friend tell me I guess he counterfeit US dollar. So I say, hey, you know, you should come and make him big blood to me. I tell him he should lock up the woman because the woman he meet the money with. He meet the money with me. And somebody tell me, you could imagine that a policeman leave his job to come and tell me. Yeah. I said, I forget him I was a policeman. I said, man, just move around me, man. Yeah, she bring illegal money to you. He should ask you. He can't prove that the money come from me. I can't even prove the money come from me neither. Because exactly. I mean, I said these people to be crazy people. And every time he see me, he watching me with some cash. I go listen bad, but I don't sit. Yeah, I sit to listen. The guy's a fool. I must admit, I couldn't admit that. So I say the woman, they should lock up the woman. If you want him or you don't want him. But I'll tell you something, as you bring it out, somebody from the rank and file, somebody from the rank and file tell me that the choice from the leadership of the NDP is to have Louise Michel be the candidate.
Okay, right. I wasn't there when that discussion took place.
What I tell you, the person from the rank and file told me that the choice from the leadership of the party is to have Louise Michel, and they say you can fight every shot in the week, but they go for the payment in this side.
And I said that because my own feeling telling me if Shaka do get you off, may end up with a coffee silver issue. No,
I agree with you.
I've been around, I know your boy anymore. I've been around. When I was younger, I couldn't talk, but I said that to South and Jackson to give you that was the first call in 1990s, and I would never say.
Definitely.
But I really had the feeling that they don't want him, and I felt like something is coming on him. Yes, it's really good.
You tell who? You tell Freddie now?
Yeah. I'm telling that. I mean, it's not more than no disrespectful way. You know, big man to big man. I mean, I've been around. I could walk about the arm to the election of America.
Okay.
I don't want for the election.
Well, he will ask you, sir. He will ask you. He will ask you, sir. He will ask you, sir. Because I was wondering if the issue of the Courtney Silver saga wasn't let me be careful. Wasn't an architect of the leadership of the NDP. Okay, right. So leave it right there.
Well, I had a election not comes in the time as well because of a man who lives in Mexico, lives in Sales, Mexico. You can't tell me you walk Mexico in a day, Mexico, you can't walk the key that day. It isn't the key.
Yeah.
So I check our promises that, but as I say, when 99, I don't feel they want them. So if the young man kind of get a feeling, they'll leave it up to them, and you know, but if you want to make a child, I mean, God bless you, that child up. And then everybody should really make a child, but I just had a feeling because you look at the younger bones, things popping up, you know what I mean? It's a new era. I can't put up my name because I don't know what they're doing again.
I got your car because something when you want to say you say them for me technically. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to have a conversation over the weekend and somebody saying that the sheet like I hate that Friday. I mean, no, I know I'm intention. We all want people, but we have to listen. You understand?
Yes, man.
We all there, something popping up, with it. This is just going to happen now. You the situation where you have a family who was captain in Asian George. Where you made a candidate?
No, I was supporting that evidence. I thought that I think she's more better suited for the job than Miss Deluxe, but who is it?
When you made a candidate, she that was against you, and I think a lot of corporate coalition background.
Yeah.
No, both sitting back, man, talk, shut it down. You know what I mean? We know that.
Yeah. Yes, man. And you know, it came from Carlton, yes, man. Yeah. 5 minutes, 30 seconds before 10 o'clock. Well, I thank all those persons who sit there, including loved ones, who listen to our program. Yeah, and we really appreciate you. Thanks to our sponsor, Basil's Bar, Basil Charles Fame. Yeah, and all those persons who listen. Good evening to all of you. See you next week, Tuesday. Once God's pay me life, I go be. If I'm getting better, yeah, I'm getting better. I sound better. I go on.
It's feedback. The toll to the different, and then choose the night from